Hi, I'm trying something new today. I'm doing my book review, video book review rather than a written. It's an experiment. I hope you enjoy it. Um, the book I'm going to review today is Dragon Chica by Mei Lee Chai. I read this book on my Nook, and I think it's the first YA that I've actually finished on my Nook. Dragon Chica is a story of a young girl named Nia. It begins when she's 11. She and her family have come to the United States. Christian missionaries have brought them from Cambodia to escape the Khmer Rouge. Nia comes with her mother and her older sister, and I believe she comes with three younger brothers. Her father didn't make it. He's not alive during the story. Um, Things aren't going really well for the family in Texas. Numerous things are happening, but not adjusting well. Um, Nia's sister finds her sister in the Midwest, I believe in Iowa, and they move to go live with the sister. Um, and both places where they live at, while going to school, Nia and her siblings are very close to the Latino students. That's where the chica part comes from in the title. I think it's because both there are no Cambodians. The only people who are in a similar situation would be the Latino students. They're trying to learn the culture, they're trying to learn the language. They attend E&L classes together, and they're really the only people there's any kind of association with outside the family. Um, her Nia learned some Spanish from them, and the Latino students even give Sorty. Sorty is Nia's older sister, gives Sorty and Nia some tips on how to be more American. When they moved to Iowa, um, Sorty eventually gets married, and she gets married at kind of an early age. And it's really hard on Nia when that happens because Sorty is Nia's world. She is anchored to her older sister. She is her lifeline. She is the the one person that she feels loved by, that she feels love from. When Sorty leaves the home, Nia feels abandoned. She feels isolated. She feels alone. And this aloneness eventually forces her not just to come of age, but to come to life. She begins to see other people. She begins to understand a little more of others. She has to come outside, or she's forced to come outside of herself. She begins to realize that some of the painful things that she's experiencing, that white people um, experience these same things. She thinks it's just because she's different, because she's Cambodian, that she's forced to deal with these things. But she realizes that she's not the only one who has problems, who has a hard time making it, who has certain issues. Um, Everyone in Nia's family, they have a hard time adjusting. They don't reach out to mainstream community, but then there's a lot of racism going on. They're not really accepted in the community, so they're very insular. They stay to themselves, and they have so much pain from what they have gone through, from what they are going through, that it's really hard for them to be family to one another. It's hard to be the daughter, the sister, the mother, because they have so much of their own pain that they're trying to deal with. Um, but even with that, in the story, what Nia learns is that family is the one thing that matters. They come before our beliefs, our traditions, emotions. They Family comes first. And coming from someone who cannot even be family, who cannot be sister, who cannot be daughter, it's a long, hard lesson, but it is a well told lesson. A well The lesson is well told through the story. Family affects what we believe. They affect our actions, our emotions. They affect who we are. and they're pretty much often all we really have. I really enjoyed this story um, by Mei Lee Chai. I liked how she used many different elements in the story. Um, I have a part of the story I want to read to you. And I think I mentioned that the family was brought over by Christian missionaries. And in bringing the family over, of course, the missionary wants to convert them to Christianity. And the mother feels that one way that they can show their appreciation to the family is by the children becoming Christian, giving up their Buddhist faith and taking on a Christian God. Well, Nia is difficult child at best, and she does not want to be baptized, but Ma is about to guilt her into doing this. Um, Nia says, I don't want to join the parade. Um, Ma pulled the car over to the shoulder, our tires squealing. She turned around to glare at me. What's wrong with you? She demanded, and then, before I could reply, she listed off my sins herself. I wanted to be an American. I talked back to my mother. I never obeyed. I thought of myself before my family. I sang their songs. I danced around like them. She'd heard me with her own ears. She'd seen me with her own eyes, and now here she was giving me the opportunity to be baptized like a real American, and yet I still complained. Ma turned around from me then and stared out the windshield as rabbits, startled by our headlights, hopped frantically through the weeds in the ditches on the side of the road. The problem is, Ma said, you don't love your mother. Then she started to cry. Much of the story is told inside Nia's mind. They're her thoughts rather than actions, because it's a story of her in her mind, what she's experiencing. It makes sense that it's told in her thoughts. The younger brothers aren't well developed in the story, but they wouldn't be because the interactions aren't there for us to get to know the brother. It's Nia's story. It's told in her own mind and how she sees things. It's a very well told story, and I really think that you'll enjoy reading this. And I hope you enjoyed this first video book review. Thank you.